Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. So Deontay Wilder is going to be returning to the ring around 15 October against Helenius. Not going to get into that. What I'm going to get into is how much money this man's supposed to be making in his return fight. Look, we all know how Eddie Hearn and AJ treated Deontay Wilder when both of them were undefeated, when both of them were at the apex of their careers. And they're still in their primes, don't get me wrong. But when there was all the hype behind it. Deontay Wilder, Shirley Finkel, his whole team, they tried to make the fight. Eddie Hearn and DAZN were feeling themselves because they had, the big checkbook at that time, and they tried to jerk Wilder. They offered Wilder a flat rate. What was it, $40 million for 2 fights? So he would have made $80 million, right? But a flat rate. And they wouldn't disclose if he's going to make 40, what is AJ going to make? They wouldn't tell him that. And that is where they hit a sticking point, and as a result, the fight fell apart. Now, there's more kind of specifics that happened, but the main reason why that fight fell apart is because of Eddie Hearn and those DAZN clowns trying to treat Deontay Wilder like some dumb, ignorant, uneducated, non-business savvy country bumpkin from America. That's exactly how they approached him. And he's far from slow. His team is far from slow. Shirley Finkel told him that this isn't what you want to do. If you're going to come in and talk to somebody about negotiating a fight between them and someone, and you're going to say, well, this is what we're going to give you as a flat rate, but you won't, present to them what their opponent's making, that's a foul. So anyway, you look at what happened to Deontay Wilder after that. He and Tyson Fury got in there. Deontay Wilder made the first fight, they both made, 20, 30 million or something like that. Tyson Fury made maybe 18 million. Second fight, Wilder made, I think, upwards of 40-something million. Tyson Fury made 30-something million. Third fight, Tyson Fury got a bit more, but these guys are making 30 to 40 million, conservatively. You know what I'm saying? So now that Deontay Wilder is returning to the ring, he is rumored to be coming in to the fight for a guaranteed $15 million, and could make an upwards of $40 to $50 million for this fight against Helenius. Talk about coming a long way from where he was there with AJ and Eddie Hearn. So everything for Deontay Wilder worked out. He didn't have to sell his soul. He didn't just let them, boss him around. He stood up for himself, and look at the position he's in now. Let me tell you something. Eddie Hearn is a man who doesn't want to give credit to anyone. He has a way of sounding like he's complimenting you, but at the same time, he's hitting you like a backhand at the same time. But he even had to admit that Deontay Wilder, his profile is not the same like it was prior to those 3 Fury fights. And he said that Deontay Wilder can command very lucrative paydays from here on out. And Deontay Wilder just has to keep winning. Now, for those of you who are saying, how in the world can Deontay Wilder make all that money? I'll put it to you this way, right? When Deontay Wilder returns, it's going to be on pay-per-view. I fully expect Deontay Wilder to sell over 250,000 pay-per-view buys, right? I think he's going to sell over 250,000 pay-per-view buys. But at $75, that's about $20 million right there. Okay? So he's going to make, and then that's just $20 million. Then there's the ticket sales, which could bring in another $10 million. So on a conservative end, that's $30 million. Okay? Now, he's going to get a large portion of all that. That's the conservative end. Okay? Now, when you look at him, now you're talking about 500,000 pay-per-view buys. Can that happen? I think it can happen. But now you're talking about 40 million or so in pay-per-view revenue, and then another 10, 15 million in revenue from ticket sales. So it's easy to see how Deontay Wilder can easily get that $40 million, especially when he's probably getting 75% or 60% of the pay-per-view sales and 50, 60% of the ticket sales. Okay? Because he's the A side. And Wilder may be getting 80%. You know, Helenius knows that he needs a big fight. He's looking for a big name. So who knows how this is all being split up. But Deontay Wilder's coming back, and this man's about to make, you know, I would say he's going to be making upward between 30 and 40. Because we know he's getting the 15 guaranteed. He's going to sell tickets. And every fight after this, now it depends on what he does next. If Deontay Wilder can get himself into another, an even bigger fight, because the only thing after this, Tyson Fury is saying he's retired, right? But the WBC hasn't acted. They haven't taken any action on him. Tyson Fury is out here playing with everybody's emotions. But I hope they snatch the belt from Tyson Fury, because enough is enough with the bullshit. Snatch the belt from him, okay? And if he's retired, make this fight between Wilder and Usyk for the WBC strap. How nice would that be? Wilder comes back, not Usyk, Helenius. Clips Helenius, boom, the WBC champ again. And then he goes and fights the winner of AJ and Usyk. That would be absolutely amazing. Now, is that going to happen? I doubt it, because I fully believe Tyson Fury to come back and try to fight the winner of AJ and Usyk. But he's just yo-yoing the people with his, you know, I'm retired. Oh no, I'm unretired. Oh no, I'm gonna come back and retire again for the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th time. It's craziness. But Deontay Wilder earned that, man. He earned that. All this money this guy's making now, you know, he earned that. It's crazy. Career highs, man. And if you look at what's going on, I'm telling you right now, Eddie Hearn, the fact that Eddie Hearn is letting Wilder's name come out of his mouth, Eddie Hearn is licking his chops right now. He's praying that AJ wins. He's got his fingers crossed. He crossed his legs, crossed his eyes. He contacted the Red Cross, hot cross buns. This man crossing T's. He is crossing his damn fingers for AJ to win this fight, because if Tyson Fury drops out and he's retired and he really doesn't care because he's had all the belts, right? And Wilder beats Helenius, I'm telling you right now, you know what Eddie Hearn is thinking. He's thinking Wilder against AJ. And this is the time to make it. But man, I'm telling you, that's a dangerous fight for both guys. But if AJ looks like he got a little Mexican in him, because I was watching AJ throwing those body shots. I don't know if you guys have seen the clips. They got him on Instagram and they have him on Twitter. I learned my lesson from taking that stuff from Instagram. Some of those videos, there's no copyright, no copyright violation with posting it. Some of them are. And I just can't risk that anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to post more videos on here and talk while the video plays in the background. But you're just not going to get that from me, because you'll have the damn clip playing. You'll be good for 3-4 months. And then all of a sudden they'll go down and put this copyright claim on it. And all of a sudden your video gets flagged and your shit gets disbanded. So I just don't even play with the fire no more. It's just not worth it for me to come and get 10,000 views on a video, 50 or 100,000 views because I'm showing stuff from Instagram that really, you know, I didn't create. You know what I'm saying? So I'm letting you know. I could put the link in the description for you. But you go out there and you'll see AJ's looking like he got some Mexican in him. You know that Mexican, that liver shot they throw? That Juan Manuel Marquez, that liver shot? Let me tell you, AJ's looking ferocious. But then again, he's hitting pads, you know, he's hitting a heavy bag. But he's showing that he's looking to focus on a very strict game plan because Usyk doesn't like body shots. And AJ can fold Usyk over if he wants to. He's just got to have the confidence to go in there and let his hands go. But he's been hurt. He's been hurt in his fights. And he's just become scared to let his hands go. But the AJ that we fell in love with, that monster, Big Femi, if Robert Garcia can bring that back out of AJ, man, it's going to be hard for anyone to beat him. It's going to be hard for anyone to beat him. AJ has it all, man. He has it all. And I'm saying that right now. It's going to be hard to beat him. He can box, he can fight, he's big, he's strong. It's just going to be hard for anyone to beat him. Even for Wilder, you know, and if AJ has his stuff together, he's going to beat everybody. Okay, he just is. But we will see. Because right now I'd have to give the edge to Wilder because AJ hasn't proven that he's gotten beyond what Ruiz did to him. But if he shows that he's kind of gotten it back together and he's worked on some things, because if he can come out and catch anybody cold, he can get him out there quickly. It's like he can, if him and Deontay Wilder were to fight, and he come out there fast, he can get Deontay Wilder out there within the first minute of that fight. Conversely, if he comes out there messing around and Wilder zeroes in on him, Wilder can get him out within that first minute, and that's what's so special about this fight. But that's just my 2 cents. I know people are gonna have varying opinions, but that's my 2 cents, man. I really think that's the fight that we're going to end up seeing. I'm not too sure about Fury. I hope the WBC yanks that belt. Just give me that damn belt back, Tyson Fury. Get the hell out of here. I like Tyson Fury, but the games and all that needs to stop. And let Wilder and Helenius fight for it. If not, let him come back, fight Helenius, and then go into a fight for that WBC strap against one of them PBC fighters, because you know that's what it's going to be. And then they'll go in there and bang against Usyk or AJ. But the problem is, we start having these mandatories, so we may not get to see that undisputed distinction, that fight at the heavyweight division, because there's a lot of belts, a lot of mandatories, and you know, this stuff start going to purse bid or they strip you, and that's where you know we this fight as far as for the undisputed gets kicked a little bit further down the line, and that's what none of us want. But Deontay Wilder, you're talking about sponsorship deals, you're talking about endorsement deals. He's an international icon now. A lot of people don't realize that about him. You know, when he said, to this day, right? That soundbite, that shit took off. It raced all around the world. Even went up there with them little aliens and shit that come down and out there, man, and visit people out there in Arizona, right? You know, there's aliens, you know. Let me start talking about it for someone come and land in my front yard and scare the hell out of me and my kids. But that, till this day soundbite, that's took off. So there are a lot of, there are people from a lot of different countries that resonated with them. And as a result, Deontay Wilder's name, he became even more famous. Because they're like, who is this guy? For those who didn't know. And they look at him, the 6'7" heavyweight champion. And people start really listening to him. You know, he's very proud of, you know, who he is and stuff like that. So a lot of people from around the world, they really identify with him. So Deontay Wilder, man, he's got a lot of money, but I could see Deontay Wilder, if he keeps winning, the money he can make outside of boxing, just because of what he stands for and who he is, and there's a market for that. You understand? There's a market for that. Deontay Wilder is going to be could become a damn billionaire. Okay, just standing on his principles, his values, and what he believes in, and not deviating. But he has to win, because boxing is the impetus to get him to those big bags of money. But he's got to keep winning, keep spreading whatever his message is, which is love, a whole lot of love. And Deontay Wilder can go out here and he can do great things financially for himself outside of boxing. And, you know, that's what you want to see for anyone in sports, especially boxers, the guys in combat sports. You know, strike while the iron's hot. And Deontay Wilder is doing that, man. So we'll see, because, again, like I said in other videos, and a lot of other people are saying it too, Helenius is no pushover. The Helenius that fought Gerald Washington, yeah, Wilder getting there and Dominique Brazil him, although Brazil hurt Wilder's ass in that first round. I don't care what you say. But he'd Brazil him and get him out of it. But this Helenius has gotten better. Not saying he's going to beat Wilder, because Helenius can be hurt. He's chinny. Wilder touches him, he's out of there. But I expect Wilder to win, and I really think Eddie Hearn is going to try to pull him over to make that AJ fight. But Eddie Hearn could go out there, man, and just mess up the business with this whole crap about talking about how Deontay Wilder has lost 2 fights. And look, just stop. If Deontay Wilder and AJ are going to fight, you know, I believe that having belts are like having certifications. So if you and I are in the same occupation, and I have 3 certifications, you have 0 or 1, we shouldn't be making the same money, okay? No matter how much experience you bring to the table, all right? Certifications matter. With the belts, it matters. So as much as I want to say it should be a 50-50 fight, it's not. Like a 60-40, okay? Even 70-30, 60-40. Just like I say about Spence and Crawford. But it is what it is. But, you know, Deontay Wilder's going to have to bring something to the table, because if he doesn't have a belt, man, Eddie Hearn and AJ are going to try to screw him, and they're not going to make the fight because of money. By the way, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I need to do it in another video, but I'll just tell you. When it comes to Spence and Crawford, Crawford and Bomac are the ones that are just, you know, complicating the damn negotiations, because they know Spence wants to be undisputed at 147, and they know that they have that 1 belt. And their attitude is, if you want this 1 belt, then give us 50-50. You want the belt, we don't care. We'll go on about our business. We will fight you. You know, we want it too, but you're the one who has never been an undisputed champion. And that's a whole other video. But that just came out. And Bomac is always running his damn mouth. But anyway, back on Wilder. Wilder's on his way, man. I can't wait to see him get back in the ring and, you know, make that money, man. I just hope that if he gets to a certain point, give back a little bit. You know, a lot of people look at Floyd Mayweather. They don't know what he does. But, you know, could he give back more? Maybe. It's his money. You know, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, you know, any of these billionaires out there, guys winning the lottery, you know, should they give some of that to those who are less fortunate? You know, maybe not. You know, they earned it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if you're sitting on, you know, $2 billion, what's it going to hurt you to, you know what I'm saying, go out there and take a little $10 million and find a way to help people? You know what I mean? But that's there. If you earn it, you do what you want to do with it. But I do believe, I do my little bit, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not anywhere near those positions, but I definitely believe, you know, if there's a way, if I can help somebody and it doesn't take from my family, you know, and our life continues to be great, of course, man, of course. But I'm not just going to, like, give it to someone out there who's going to take it and go do it wrong with it. That's why a lot of times I prefer, especially when I'm with my sons, man. This is getting off topic, but my sons, them boys have good hearts, man. They see somebody out there kind of panhandling and they want to give them money. And I have to tighten them up and tell them, look, you just don't know these people's situations. So if you give it, once you give it, forget about it, because you don't know what they're going to do with it. So you do it with, you know, from the goodness of your heart. I said, but with me, you don't see me giving out money like that. If I see somebody with children, I said, you know, I watch those situations, because kids, man, and then I'll make sure that if the child needs something, I'll get it. I have no problem from going to the store, bring somebody and give it to them. But I have a lot of times I have a problem giving out money. But that being said, when it comes to these guys, you know, do something for people. You're in a great position, you know, help out. Especially, you know, a guy like Wilder who knows what it's like to not have. He's in a position to help out, and he has that kind of heart, and I know he does it. But I'm just saying, these guys start making that kind of money. I think Tyson Fury is another one that really helps out a lot, and that's great to see. But that being said, it has nothing to do with any of this, Deontay Wilder's on his way. This man's about to make a lot of money. And I hope he goes on to start making $100 million paydays. I hope he becomes a billionaire. And because with everything that he's gone through, he more than deserves it. He more than deserves it. But that being said, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Shout out to the veterans. Deontay Wilder Bomb Squad is back, and he's going to get paid. Eddie Hearn is trying to line that fight up. Watch what I'm telling you. When people start giving you gifts, whether it's a compliment or something else, and it's not your birthday, you need to worry. Because Eddie Hearn is giving gifts to Deontay Wilder, saying nice things, and he wasn't the kind of guy to do that. So I'm telling you that he's already looking long-term, or short-term, to make that fight. Because remember, Eddie Hearn, something going on over there in Matchroom. He's looking to make the most money he can, because I really feel that he's in the red somehow, and that's why he's cutting the fat over there, and he's only looking to make fights that are home runs. I could be wrong, but in time will tell, but I don't think I'm wrong. All in all, y'all keep cool, and I'm in the breeze.